Well, last year, December, Joe, you and John Hall had a special guest host join you throughout the hour. Do you remember that?
I do, and after that they were saying, Joe who?
Right. You actually were worried that your job was at risk.
It still is, because he's here again.
He is. His name is Nathan Purdy, and he started an amazing charity a few years ago called Pennies for Freedom. Over the years, he and his family have collected over 100 million pennies, and all proceeds have gone to organizations fighting the issue of human trafficking. Today, Nathan and his sister, so she's after my job, joined us to bring
Let's enjoy this last day. Let's enjoy it.
On what they have been doing in the past year. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
This is exciting to have you back, Nathan.
Yeah, so great to have you. And Nathan, what are you up to, man?
Well, we, in March 28th till April 7th, we went to our very first mission trip in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Wow. And you had talked about that when you were on the show with these guys.
That's right.
About going
With
to
these
the
guys. You don't have names. Go ahead.
talking about going to the Philippines because it was really dear to both of your hearts in talking about human trafficking. Tell us about who you went with and why you decided the Philippines, Alayna.
Well, we went, my brother and my mom, we went with the pastor of our church, and we went to see Jeff Smith and his ministry, and just to see all, what exactly we're supporting. Yeah.
Because that's where a lot of the pennies have been
Yeah,
going
yeah,
for the love of your
exactly,
artwork.
yeah.
Nathan, what was it like?
It was very, very tough, the situations there. But seeing the face of the children makes it worth it all.
Yeah. Now I heard that you kind of stuck out a little bit with your hair and your fair skin, and they compared you to somebody.
Yeah, at the time I had sort of silver gray hair,
Right.
and so everywhere we went, I would hear children whispering, "Elsa, Elsa," from Frozen.
That's funny, because when they see me, they're like, "Look, it's Beast from Beauty and the Beast."
Now tell us about some of the activities that you guys got to take part in. Some day programs with the kids.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So we actually helped at a VBS there, Vacation Bible School. It was so great. Help with the children, seeing them enjoying themselves.
And there's also like a Friday night program that you guys also took part in.
They go to this small sort of village area, and they put on a program for the children, and so they have all of these kids that just swarm like an open air kind of hut. And they do songs and games, and they just are all so excited to be there.
And there was one little girl that you met that kind of, when I read the story, it kind of broke my heart that she described herself as being a dirty girl or a bad girl.
Yeah. We had seen her when we went to the Friday night program that they put on for the children, and my mom and I, we saw this tiny little girl standing far away. She wasn't joining in on anything, and I just thought, oh, she's so tiny to be alone. She looked like she was no older than 2. And then when we helped with the VBS, we found out that she's 4, and again, she was very timid, but she seemed to warm up to us through the week. But we found out later on, she had said, that she was a bad girl because she sniffed glue. And so her parents had her sniffing glue. Parents will sometimes use that as a way to subdue their children, and oftentimes it keeps them from feeling hunger pains, and so then they don't have to eat as often when they're sniffing glue.
Wow. Now, sometimes you see pictures of kids in a magazine, or you watch a video, whether it's on Huntley Street or somewhere else, about these children, but it's got to be really different when you meet them in real life, and you're looking through their eyes. What was that like to see those kids in that situation, knowing the country you come from and all that you have here?
Yeah, what really got me was when I saw, the last day before we left to come back, I saw in the children's eyes, I saw Jesus in their eyes, and that really, really broke my heart.
Oh, that's beautiful, Nathan. You also went up to the mountains and handed out some food as well. Woke up at 2 o'clock to hike up there.
Yeah.
So being able to even bless people with food, that must have been an incredible experience, Nathan.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about that journey when you went up there.
It was an honor, really. It was a beautiful village of people who had heard that we were coming, and they had prepared a performance for us, and they did these beautiful tribal dances, and even they danced to regular like North American music as well, like Christian worship songs that you would hear in the Sunday school here. And they had choreographed little dances, and all just to bless us as their guests. And it was a real honor, and getting to feed them too. And we brought the T-shirts as well.
Tell us about these T-shirts and why you decided to do this.
Yeah, it's a cool catchphrase, and why you wrote that.
Yeah, this was my mom's idea. She saw.
So it says, "Not for sale, child of God," John 3:16 on the top, on the bottom, and then Jesus loves me.
Yeah, my mom had the idea that if these children were wearing these shirts in English, that the people who come over as like tourists to partake in the sex trade, that they might be deterred just by like being jolted by to see something like that. So that was her idea.
Another idea that you had was to have a banquet or a party for some of the prostitutes in the area, just to show them your love, and also to hand out this T-shirt.
Yeah.
But they weren't able to come. Tell us about that.
Yeah, they had put on a banquet for Valentine's Day just to love on the women who were working in prostitution, and it had been like quite a success. And so we had asked that they put something on like that for when we were there, so that we could help out with that. And I think it was either the same day or the day before we found out that the women weren't going to be coming. And I think because of it being a Saturday night, it was a busy night for them to give up the wage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so we had planned, and they had put on this beautiful banquet, and they'd had it catered, and they had a wonderful worship team playing, and we got there, and it was just, it felt like such an anointed room, and it was such a heartbreaking, a heart-wrenching thing to know that no one was coming. And we all we stayed there and we worshiped because the band was playing, and walked around, and I remember like God telling me to pray over each chair. So I prayed, like I just like laid my hand on every chair and prayed for the woman who we thought had intended to be there. And yeah, and then later in the evening, we had been praying and interceding. Two lovely girls had come in, and it just felt like that was the whole reason. All of the planning was just for these two beautiful girls. And so we got to give them penny bracelets with their birth date on it, and we got to give them T-shirts that said "Not for sale," and just pray with them. Yeah.
If I could ask, how has this changed you? Going there and seeing, because you talked about when you came back, you were so thankful because it was so quiet here. Because you mentioned something everybody had in these huts. They were so low end, but they all had something similar. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, they all had these huge stereo systems. They would blast music so loud day and night. Yeah. So
just for the sake of blasting it.
I think so. Yeah, and they would play. They would do karaoke all through the night too, so you would hear them singing karaoke as you're trying to fall asleep.
But I just want to know, but how has that changed you? Coming back here, seeing what you saw, what did God deposit in you, Nathan?
Well, more thankfulness, because before we went, I was realizing that I'd taken so much for granted here in Canada, and being there really just made me more thankful.
That's a great word.
Pennies for Freedom continues. Your work continues. You continue. Are you still collecting pennies? What are you doing now?
We are. We're still collecting pennies, and we are still like raising more money, and yeah, we're
Why are
Yeah.
you so passionate about human trafficking? What is it about this issue that makes you so passionate that you want to see it end?
The women and the children. We don't want them to be in human trafficking. We want them out. We want them in a safe place. And with our missionaries, Jeff and Lydia Smith, they're wanting to build an aftercare center to give them a fresh start. And so we want to I really want to step forward and into that and support the aftercare centers, because that is what they need.
Oh.
Big time.
That's awesome. You know what I'm encouraged by this? 2 young people who have stood and said, we want to see this end. And I think that is huge. I think we as older seasoned people can learn a lot from that, is that there is a cause that you believe in and you're doing your best to stop it. And God bless you and all that you continue to do.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we love you guys, and I know the viewers out there love you guys and are praying for you. Continue doing what you're doing. And thank you for the update, and we look forward to the next one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.